Hey guys, Banana Luck here. Welcome back to another Water Realms video. Today we're going to be doing an arena showcase, specifically taking a look at my anti-air team, which is not the most conventional one, given that we don't have a legendary piercer lot, which we do have the right piercers for it. We just don't have the Lego piercer lot to go along with it. So we have Nyx A3, we have Silas, we have Hatsuit. Actually, all of these units are A3, and you partner that with a Tailwind and a Legendary Piercer lot. It's gonna be a pretty decent team in terms of coverage, but because of the fact that we don't have a Legendary Piercer lot, we struggle in some rounds with just Lunaria as the lot. So that's the reason why I decided to run this team instead, which is pretty decent for anti-air as far as Apex Overlord in 6x goes. It's a struggle, especially since Ingrid came along, but the high BP means that, people are not just going to steamroll it very easily. They probably need the certain level of BP to, beat this team. So, just head in here and showcase the actual run on test, the defense testing, before we go into some actual arena fights. Okay, so basically wait for a bit here to put Silas down. Reason being that you want that buff that he gets, killing a unit. You want that buff to stay on as he snipes the second ones. And also these units as well. If you hold it long enough, at the right timing, the orb is going to pop out again. And that's going to ensure that you have a fast kill on the next wave. Pop Hatsu's out here. And then right here, you can just hold for a bit for the next wave to come in. So that Silas can one-shot the entire wave. So yeah, that's a usual problem with PSO teams where you're not going to be able to hit that wave unless you're using Boris. Then you have the range to do so. Ingrid is another example. Nyx is also able to do that, but no one is going to get Nyx out that early without compromising on your early waves. So that's down. Next one, this is pretty straightforward. It's just going to wait to pop Hatsuits out. This wave we tend to be slower than the rest because we have to wait for Hatsu to reach the range. And this is the part where Arrogance shines, because with his ultimate, he gets that 12 tower range, and that's going to allow him to hit units here. And sometimes, if the enemy delays the wave long enough, Arrogance gets his out the moment he reaches here. He can actually clear out this wave pretty soon, especially if he gets the boomerang procs, shooting the two targets. And then with that done, it's Silas now. And then we have Mari down. Oops, right here. Obviously, in the actual run, the timings differ a lot, especially with Arrogance. Normally pop Hatsuits out slightly towards the end, clear out the wave, and then this is where we have to depend on Arrogance to cast his ultimate again. Yeah. It's a decent team, not the best. You don't get Corridor out, so you do clear this waves pretty quickly. And damage-wise, you're gonna see Silas leading at the top because it's the first unit we drop down. And Arrogance cleared a few of the big waves. That's why it's right on top of Hatsuit. And yeah, the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Autos-wise, the timings are sort of staggered, such that ultimates go off after one another. NTR is known to have really terrible defense coding-wise, which means that ultimates always go off at the right time. So I try to stagger them such that, the ultimates cannot go off at the wrong timings because they're just not available. So that's the test run. Now we're going to go ahead and do some actual fights. See if we get anyone interesting. This one's gonna be tough. Yeah, it has Pelagios, Valkyra, Kratos. Kratos is annoyingly good in MTA as well. No surprise. And we have this team, which I think we can afford to go ahead and try. See where we fare. I think the first few waves, if it drops Hatsuit down, then it's gonna be pretty even.
Even blind, I strike
Silas.
Even
You
blind.
can see the Silas gear difference, pretty big. This Silas took 3 hits to clear out the mob. Mine only takes 2.
You get what you pay.
Because Irene's next. I can expect Ingrid to come out, and it's gonna clear this faster because his Silas has out on, but okay, never mind. It looks like it's still slower.
Shadows can't hide you.
Step into the light.
Okay, so gonna lose out a bit if his Ingrid does that blast.
Behold,
It's just Ingrid's range being absolutely ridiculous. And I'm gonna have to wait for Hatsu to pop. Ultimate there, the mobs died too early. You can see here, slight advantage there because Arrogance get off his ultimate at the right time.
Shadows.
There we go. Like win there. And right here, probably have to slow things down a bit. See if we can pop Hatsu's out in time.
We're stronger together.
Doesn't look like it. Take some damage here. But let's see. If we can clear this wave fast, then could still work out. No, it's going to be around the same time. Because of the damage that we took on round 7. Yeah. So obviously not the best against Ingrid teams. Because Ingrid just has far wider range compared to us. And you can see here, yeah. 34 million damage just from one unit alone. And if we face the more conventional units, which I'm trying to find here. So this guy has really high BP, but he actually doesn't have high awakenings. We could afford to try this one and then this one, see how it fares, but we'll just go with this first. Because BP is slightly closer.
Even blind, I strike true. Even blind, I strike true.
So his Silas doing a bit more damage because of the Aracha boost, plus the extra range. Pops his ultimate here, his
Shadows can't hide you.
gonna kill a bit faster than us as well.
Speak no more. Silence.
We'll be banking on the 4th wave to see if Arrogance can clear it fast.
Evil dry. The agony lingers.
Behold thy dread lord.
So Hatsu needs to get her out of.
As you wish.
Remove damage.
Resist me.
You can see Nyx doing great work here. Yeah, but not quite getting there in terms of damage yet. So he still loses out this wave. This one's gonna be fairly even, but it looks like he didn't set up his team properly. Yeah, the Mari came out way too slow. He loses out here. So it can go toe to toe with Nyx, but the fact that they have the same range due to the placement, you do manage to hit all the units. The main difference being that Arrogance ultimate is on auto. You can't really control that, so if the enemy decides to actually delay your ultimates and waste it, like clear waves slow on purpose, then yeah, that's just gonna screw up the entire run. You're gonna end up with very weird ultimate timings as well. We can try this team as well. Very high BP, but yeah, he doesn't have very good awakenings. So I'm gonna go on a limb to say that his gear is not the greatest as well.
Even blind,
I think the constant here is that I have to put Silas a lot earlier because
even blind.
my timing was based on very low BP, which we don't have the privilege of fighting here. 500 BP is a lot higher. You see Silas is struggling in terms of damage. Getting up quite enough damage there.
As you wish. For the call for speak no more. Silence.
Yeah, clearance is not the fastest. It's not using its ultimates as well.
My loved ones, we never falter.
Wait for this wave.
Can't hide you. Shadows can't hide you.
My blades are always ready.
There we go. So he has his slower out now. He's not gonna die at the very least. He's gonna be able to survive. This is where we put down Arrogance.
Dread Lord.
And then the sweet spot of ultimate here is actually right as about the second unit is gonna die. Another good tip here is that Arrogance works really well in Frigid Flame here. For the fact that he isn't able to take any damage. You can see here, delaying the ultimate for Arrogance is gonna slow down the damage that we do here. Not gonna be nearly as much.
Bleeding evil.
But this guy is clearly struggling pretty hard with the wave as well. Gonna be able to get by. He might not even clear this in time. Yeah, he's not going to.
The Infernal Blade!
You can see against units with teams with even with a legendary pierce a lot, if they have pretty low awakenings, don't have the best gears or artifact, we still can get by. Yeah. Even though Silas does more damage overall, he just isn't able to clear out the waves nearly as fast. His BP is freaking high, but yeah, he just doesn't have the teams built around that. I'm not gonna try this. This is actually a guildmate. Kratos, Ajax, yeah, all these other disgusting units. And this guy is losing on purpose, I believe. We can't do any more refreshers. We can try this guy. Very high BP as well, but he has Hex. And yeah, Hex is just not that great for anti-air. Way too long to charge up. Let's see. Better.
And now the fun begins. Even blind, I strike true.
Slightly faster than the Saga, because he has not activated his out yet.
My spears in blood!
Once it does that, you can see him starting to go crazy with his spears. Saga is actually arguably better than Silas in NTA, because he always has that crazy attack speed on, and with that passive that deals 50% penetration in terms of damage. Just a lot better option compared to Silas, which only has it during his ultimate.
Thy dread Lord.
Speak no.
You dare think you can resist me?
Slightly faster than us, but Arrogance has his out up, so that's hopefully going to give us some advantage.
Bathe my spears
go.
in blood!
They're in way faster than them. Hex is just not going to be carrying his weight here.
Shadows can't hide you.
Speak no more. Silence.
There we go. I'm going to win this wave. I mean, arguably, not every team here is set up well because this is Factory. But yeah, I don't think I want to climb up when it's anti-air. I don't have the best lineup, like I said. So yeah, at least we still managed to test this out a few times. So it's not the perfect team, but I think if you really struggle with anti-air and you have high awakenings on these two units, it's not too bad. It's just that you're gonna be losing out mainly to teams where, you know, their ultimates are not auto, because Arrogance auto ultimate tends to screw up when the enemy takes a bit too long to clear a certain wave, and that kind of just piles up on the later ones. So gear wise, Soba Arcana on him, Rigid Flame because he doesn't take any damage from the anti-air mobs, and this gives him a 33% damage boost. When you compare it to Realm Tear, it's a lot better because uh, the mobs move quite quickly, and Mari's flow only hits in when there's like 1 or 2 tiles range in front of him. Hatsu, Ageless Wrath, you can do Soba Arcana as well. I just don't want to swap things around. And the best artifact for her in GVG as well as Arena is actually Idril's Gaze, because of the 40% ignore on defense and magic resistance. And then we also have Silas, Spirit Siphon, obviously, Infernal Roar. I could go with higher attack here because it's Arena, but I didn't do that swap. And Mari just on Mana Spring, Nightmare Samsara for 2 ultimates at the very least after we actually drop her. So yeah, that's the NTR team. Honestly, I think a better option here would be using Ajax instead of Silas. Could work out a lot better, but this is just what we're stuck with. Perhaps Ajax might be even better than Arrogance because you can actually control his ultimate. And if you have this exclusive, then it's going to be a very good burst. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave it down in the comment section below and let me know if you enjoyed the content. If you did, leave a like or subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.